Nakore Apparel is a lifestyle brand inspired by and created for those who unabashedly seek, speak, and live in truth. Nakore is the African Adinkra symbol for truthfulness, and the clothes speak truth in all its forms with the ultimate aim of love and justice. If you're down to expand the culture, break barriers, and eradicate injustice wherever you find it, then Nakore Apparel is the brand for you. Go to NakoreApparel.com. That's Nokore Apparel.com.
Nakore, apparel for truth tellers.
You are now tuned in to the Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts Podcast.
Yo, what is going on? This is DJ Brainstorm on the mic with you right now, coming to you live and direct with episode number 311 of the Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts Podcast. The DMST Podcast is back. Thank you to everybody tuning in on YouTube right now and everybody that will be tuning in throughout the week on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, the TuneIn Radio app, SoundCloud, no Wooshka.
None at all.
Anywhere, wherever, however you get your podcast, we want to thank y'all for tuning in right now. Playboy. Oh, shit. I forgot. I'm so used to Playboy being here. My bad. Jeff, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Ready to go. Ready to get this thing started.
Yeah, no Playboy this week. Sorry, y'all. That's habit. That's just real habit that I'm used to always throwing it right to Playboy off the intro. But Playboy just has some things to take care of today, so he'll be back with us next week. But everybody tuned in right now, if you're watching the video feed live, you'll see that we do have some guests this week. We have Miss Danielle, we have Miss Nyla, and Miss Dana. Did I get everything right?
Yeah.
I was scared. I was gonna mess it up. We're gonna be doing a venture with these three young ladies coming up starting on August 24th.
Yep.
Wednesday, August 24th, called Pot and Poetry. We were connected with them. Thanks to E-Rock and Sophie for our guests from about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So we're going to be talking about that as we're going forward. But hello, ladies. How are y'all doing?
Great. How are you? No complaints, only preferences.
Okay.
Okay.
No complaints, only preferences.
You might have to break that one down. What that mean?
Well, I think a complaint is like something is wrong or like you're complaining, but like a preference is like, because in reality, for me, like my life is good. You know what I'm saying? There are some things that I prefer to be different.
Okay.
But, to complain is, ain't nothing going to change it, really. You know what I'm saying? It's the action that changes it. So.
You should run for president. Ladies out there, do y'all hear that? Complaining about it. What is it going to do? You know what I'm saying?
It's going to draw more of the negative
the
stuff
negative
that
energy to you.
The more you concentrate on what's wrong, the more you get what's wrong.
Mm-hmm. So the preference and focusing on the preferences is actually bringing forth what you prefer. Like, I could go on about that, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Dev, is your YouTube up? I just want to know if yours is kind of, mine is jumpy. So
yeah, but I think it might be the service here because there's no drop frames on here, so I don't know what's going on.
But it's choppy today.
Yeah, it's choppy. But it is what it is.
It's always something. All right, so let's do this. Let's like we always do. We'll go around the room. We'll ask how everybody's weeks was. So, Danielle, we'll start with you. How was your week?
It was busy. It was busier than I wanted it to be, but I still got some stuff done this week. So, I could check a few things off my list. Sometimes that's all you could do as an adult.
That's it. No, you're right.
Nyla, how was your week?
Once again, no complaints, only preferences.
Oh my God.
I felt like I was in a space-time continuum or something because I woke up, it was Monday, and then it was Friday.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It just went super fast. And, I had some great things happening. My son just turned 22.
Okay.
And
Shout out to him.
yes, he's a good young man. I was gonna say good kid, but he's a good young man. And yeah, I get a chance to go to one of my favorite things. It's a wedding. My cousin's getting married next weekend, so gearing up for some positive things.
Oh, that's what's up.
Really happy about that.
Okay. Dana, how was your week?
My week was long and busy. But like you said, I did check some things off my list that I needed to get done. So I was able to accomplish some things. And I know that those little steps add up to big steps. And I feel accomplished, like I accomplished something this week. So I'm happy about that.
That's what's up. Okay, thank you.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you good? So, Dad, how was your week?
My week was good, man. It was a lot of progress this week. So I'm back to driving now. You know what I mean? It's like I got my seat leaned back like it's 93. You know what I mean? You know how it's like how your seat
Back
all
in
the way
the day,
leaned
we
back,
used to-
but
Yeah,
'Cause I
you
like
looking out the back window.
yeah, like I gotta kind of sit back though, because I can only bend my knee like 40 degrees, but I can get in the car and I can drive. You know what I'm saying?
Are you driving with that leg?
Oh, yeah,
You're able
yeah.
to drive with it and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah, like I can it looks 10 times worse
Than what it actually
than
is.
what it actually is. It's a non-weight bearing injury, so I've been able to walk on it the entire time, even before I had surgery. The only time I had pain was when they screwed my tendon back into my kneecap.
That does sound painful.
Yeah, but like the actual injury is only for lifting your leg and bending your knee. So without it, you can't bend your knee or lift your leg. You know what I mean? But you can do everything else, like back side to side. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everything, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I go to physical therapy on Friday. Yeah. So that's kind of where I am with it. Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. How was your week, man?
That's what I was about to say.
It was busy because
Let's talk about it.
I mean, because obviously Carlucia moved up here. So we got that done on Wednesday. So
We having like a housewarming. Like, what's going on here?
No, we're not.
Y'all just moved in. Ain't tell nobody.
Like
y'all
a
moved in
welcome party.
on like a Wednesday.
And
Y'all just did it on like
which
a.
one of y'all was cooking? Somebody was cooking last time.
Last time when we was on
me.
Yes.
Me.
You know, with some food, with some more.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
No, I was
Yeah.
cooking when we all did.
Oh
the
yeah,
Zoom.
you was cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was about to eat.
Yes, your plate.
But yeah, so like I said, that happened this week. Got him up here on Wednesday.
Oh, y'all did move on.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, like I went
Middle
down,
of the week.
I went down. I was down there last week trying to get some help finishing with the packing. I came home on Saturday, went back on Tuesday, and then got the truck on Wednesday morning and got everything loaded, drove up. Hit up Playboy. Shout out to Playboy. He came to help me pull the stuff off the truck at the storage place on Wednesday. And then that's been that basically for the most part. Which, as far as that, at least on my part.
Man, it's been so crazy. Just not being able to help people move. I just wish, I was.
Yeah, I'm
feel
sure. I'm sure
There's
you were
a
at
hint
home.
of sarcasm in there.
Damn, man. Every day I think about it. I was so mad I can't help y'all move.
I'm sure you were at home.
95 degrees outside. All I want to do is help y'all move couches, man.
Did you cry yourself to
Yeah,
sleep?
I know. It was hard. It was a rough week. It was rough.
Yeah. You
No,
had
but
to be
no.
consoled.
That's real love though when somebody help you move.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Listen.
It is.
Listen. Yeah.
I look at it like this. We are too old for it. It's like I tell my nephews and them sometimes. It's just like, I've put my time in moving people. I've moved my aunts and uncles. And I got 7 aunts and uncles on my mom's side alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like we've moved enough people that we put our time in. Like, it's y'all time to be putting y'all. My back hurting today, right? Because we've been sitting here, doing all this stuff. So, nah. But yeah, it's dope. We got to go back next week. We're going back on Friday to get some other stuff done, take care of some things. And then supposed to be back to try to DJ on Saturday. And then so it's gonna be pretty hectic.
I was gonna say, that sounds like a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
When the school start?
In a week and a half. So we getting that finalized too. So all that happened. Shit, found out I got a promotion this week.
Okay.
Hey, that's what's up.
That was unexpected.
Brainstorm always buried the lead. You know what I mean? I just got like 40, 50,000 more dollars. You know what I mean?
You know, but so that was unexpected though. But it was one of those things. Like the last time I got something like that happened, it was just my manager called and she was just, you know, she set up a Zoom meeting like that morning. So I'm looking like, all right, I know I've been at home chilling a little bit. Maybe I should be a little nervous. You know, I mean, am I gonna get fired? Am I moving the mouse enough?
Ain't nothing like that unexpected meeting you get on Outlook. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Am I moving the mouse enough during the day? I don't know. So. Yeah. So, but she, they, because our role is changing, they rewriting the roles, and so they made me like a senior role on our team. So I got a promotion and stuff, and so that was. I mean, I'm never gonna turn that down.
Right.
No,
That's what's up.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Let me hold $20.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let me hold the 12. Oh, you know what? Damn, I forgot to talk about this. I don't know if it's something we could do. It was a very unique thing I had to do this week. So, people who listen to I started a new job this year, this summer. The dean of student culture at a middle school. And so we had a leadership training with the whole district. It's a charter school district. And so we were having a lot of training since like the Monday after I messed my knee up. I've been in training since like July 11th. And so the first day they had this thing called Story Yourself, like the director of academics for the whole district spoke and gave his backstory, and then school operations leader gave his. And so now that we're into school for us starts next Monday the 22nd. So we got one more week of prep. And so leaders this past week, the deans and the principal had to give their story itself. And it went like a half hour. You had like a half hour. And you don't really, nobody ever asked you to do that in life. To sit back, take a snapshot of why do you do the work you do? Why do you work with kids off Union, off 93rd? Why do you work with kids? Why do you work with this population? And what inspired you? What drives you? And you gotta articulate it in front of an entire staff. And it might be something we could do on the pod. Just it makes you go places that you don't normally go, and you start to connect dots of why you are the way you are. Yeah. And it was a very my father passed in 2020. He was sick, so it wasn't one of those devastating haymakers. You still lost somebody, but the thought of him doesn't make me sad. You know what I mean? Because that's my father. He's my reason why I do a lot of the stuff, anything that I do, really. But having to tap into why you do something, you start to connect the dots. What I mean by that, I'm not gonna get in the whole thing. Obviously, it was a half hour. I'm not gonna fucking do that again. But it's little things in your life, right? That you'll because I talked to him. It was funny. I talked to the staff about compromise, and it sounds weird with 7th and 8th graders and 6th graders, but you do have to compromise. You have to build a relationship with them. Yeah. You have to honor them as 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. You have to. And so I'm why? Why do I think compromise is a thing? And I had to go back to my first understanding of what compromise was. It was 1987. I was 5. My mother and father broke up.
That's very specific.
Because we had to go. No, we had to go back and timeline. We had to really go back and
the core.
Yeah, we had to go. They made us dig and figure out. And I'm my mother and father had broken up. I mean, this is 87. This is the height of the drug trade. This is the height of the crack epidemic. And my mother wasn't on that's my baby. My mother and father was listen, this is a boy on 146 in St. Clair. He need to live with his father. And I didn't realize it at that. I spent my whole elementary school years living with my father, going to my mother's house on the weekends. But that was so odd. First of all, my father was a single father in the 90s and late 80s, which wasn't even no dads on my street, let alone single dads. You know what I'm saying? So but when I go back and think about why I value compromise is because I never saw turmoil. I never experienced a mom who was that's my baby and you need that. And then I never saw it. I never even saw the turmoil between my mother and my brother's mother. So I don't even have like the drama stuff is not a part of my DNA. And like when I had to go back and like really go through it, I'm like, damn. That's why I value compromise so much, because I just saw it happen naturally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it made sense for it to happen. And like a lot of people in my life a lot of people in my life made logical decisions in unfortunate situations. And that's usually what you're doing in life. You know what I mean? And you had to like go back and figure out when and why and how. And I'm like, God damn. Yeah. And like even we doing the pod, even doing this right now. Second thing, I'm gonna leave it alone because I forgot to bring this up about the week, so my bad. But even how I am on the pod, and I'm like, if you give me something, I'll run with it. As far as like conversation wise, like I don't hold back. Like I'll expose my soul on something. But if my mother and father was going through it, they had, it was the 90s. They got caught up in the drug stuff. Nothing crazy. They never got to the point where they was like strung out. But it affected us. Yeah. And I was like 13. My father came to me. I was in the basement. He pulled up one of the little bar stools from my basement, and he was like, "Listen, I want to stop. Your mama don't. I'm leaving. You can come with me or you can stay." Like at that point, he became like a dude that was trying to figure out life. Yeah. Like the Superman cape came off. He was just a man trying to figure it out, and he like bared his soul to his 13-year-old son. Most dads just go get a loaf of bread from the store and never come back. Right. Like he could have just did that, popped back up when I was 25 and was like, "Look, bro, I was going through it. I had to leave." But the fact that he did that and bared his soul to a 13-year-old, I'm like, I'll bare my soul to him. What's up? Yeah. You want to have a conversation? Let's have a real conversation. And when I had to start going back and like figuring out why I am the way I am and why I do the work I do, I'm like, shit. Like this is why I do it. You know what I mean? And it was a very introspective week preparing for that. I don't have anxiety a lot, but like I had to do it Friday morning, and like having to tap into that was it was kind of emotionally draining almost. Yeah.
Made you go somewhere you haven't gone in a long time.
And it's it sounds like your father showed you the respect, even though you were a child, to know that your life was about to change. And
one way or another, either you was gonna come with me or you was gonna stay in this mess. Like one way or another, shit's gonna change.
Cause it's like my parents' generation, they was just like, you didn't get no warning.
but I think my brothers are 13 and 14 years older than me. So 12 and 13 years older than me. So my parents is probably your parents. Like my brothers are in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like my father is of that generation. Yeah. My mother and father would have been in their 70s if he was still alive. Like they're not like. So the fact that he did it is mind blowing because he is of that generation. Of like sit up, shut the fuck up.
Right. Do as I say, not as I do.
Like that's him. Like most of my friends' dads is like that. Like it was that's what made it so like alien-esque that he did that. He wasn't no progressive like backpack wearing that. He was tree hugger. He was in Vietnam. Like this was one of them that
gonna be.
Yeah, but he
just where you gonna do.
But for some reason when it came to raising his boys, he had like a different outlook on like how he was gonna like mold these young dudes in the heart of East Cleveland. It was just a weird and I don't know. It just took my bad. It just took me to a place.
He normalized vulnerability.
Yeah.
He normalized it for.
I think that's why I love having girls too, because girls force you to be vulnerable. Because they don't give a fuck about nothing you got going on. Like they don't care about none of that. No, you know what I'm saying? Like I love you. I'm coming to lay on your chest. Like they don't care. You're gonna have to be vulnerable with me no matter what. You know what I mean?
You can't shove them off.
No, you can't. Go do some push-ups. You gotta hug them. Like you have to. There's no way around it. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So,
but it was just care. Daddy's tired. You haven't spent time with.
Yeah, I don't give a. What you mean you had a rough day?
What does that mean?
So yeah, that was a heavy thing to I don't know, to kind of dig into. It was rough. For like a day, I was kind of like in a haze. Like shit, I had to like run through it a couple times in my head before I presented.
But you know, when if there was some kind of moment, especially if it was traumatic, like, and you reflect on it, it's almost like you're reliving it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, man, damn.
You should write a poem about it.
So your body goes through some of the same changes, like like it was happening in that moment.
Yo, I'm not bracing my bad. I don't want to like take over the beginning of the podcast.
No, you good.
But I'm not gonna get into everything. It was one last little story about it. Like, but because when you said that, we was talking about because like I deal with kids in the school culture, and like you have to. I know it's corny and cliche, but you gotta like meet a kid where they are. You have to like understand. You can't just walk in the room and be like, I want you to sit down and shut up because I'm the dean. Sometimes you gotta wrap your arm around and be like, man, I had some Chick-fil-A last night. What you have? I don't care what they ate. I'm trying to figure out if they ate.
Yeah.
Because that might give you a pathway into what's going on with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't understand I kind of understood where I got that from, but like, I used to work this residential place. I'm not gonna even say the name, but
Say it.
Huh?
Say it.
Because I'm gonna tell you why after this. You'll see why. But it was 4th of July. I was a supervisor, and we walked in for the shift. This is residential, like worst behaviors in the state for these kids in the world. Like, you know what I mean? And you got these all over the country. We got one here in Cleveland. And so I'm coming in. This girl, she had some issues, like had a kid, but like her uncle was the pops. You know what I mean? And like she was like the most violent kid I've ever dealt with, but she was my favorite kid ever. I'm talking about Debo come on the cottage on unit and all the other kids like you want her on your team. You know what I'm saying? You try to get the kids to be quiet. They be like, hey, Mr. Devin says shut up. I'm like, thank you. Thanks for helping me out. You know what I mean? Like she'll shut the kids down. But I come on unit. I go into the office or whatever, and I'm checking in like from the previous shift, and they come knocking on the door, boom, boom, boom. And I go out in the hallway. And I'm saying this because you talk about reliving the moment, and I swear to God, this is the one I relived the most this week. Like, I come out in the hallway, and she's on the ground in the hallway, like, gasping. She had, like, tied a shoestring around her neck in the shower. And I didn't know this. Nobody knows this. If a shoestring gets wet, the more you try to unloosen it, the tighter it gets. So she probably tried to, like, I don't really want to do this, but as she was trying to loosen it, it got tighter. So she came like flopping down the hallway pretty much. And so I run down the hallway, I'm like, give me some scissors. But this is a unit. And so I'm like screaming, give me scissors. But this is a lockdown unit. Oh, everything is bolted. So we don't have like pointy scissors. We got like rounded craft kindergarten scissors because we can't have nothing else. And so I get this. Somebody hand me the scissors and I'm like down on my knees. And I'm like, first I'm trying to stick the scissors underneath her, the string, but it won't get up under there. Like if you feel your neck, it's not a lot of meat.
Yeah,
it's like esophagus and muscle.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, if I stick these scissors, I'm gonna like stab through her skin, even though it's like rounded. It's still, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I gotta like dig my finger under here to get some space. But I was like digging into her neck. I'll never forget the feeling of like digging down and like her neck muscle. And I got my finger up under there, and I took these craft scissors and they started slipping when I was trying to cut it. And I'm like, fuck. And so like the third or fourth time I did it, it kind of snagged on the bottom. And I'm like, all right, I got to like knife this and not cut it. And I was able to do it, and I did it a couple of times, and it popped off. And I'm like, I'm fucked up. While I'm doing this, obviously they calling 911. And like at the place I work at, if they call 911, the police or the ambulance, they be there like that because the kids be popping off or whatever. So it was like 5 minutes. Whatever. I get outside, meet the ambulance, and I sit outside even after they take her away, whatever. And I'm out there for like 20 minutes. I go back on unit. The rest of the staff had pulled the kids on unit. And I'm like, all right, y'all, you know, she gonna be all right. She went to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. One of the kids raised their hand, and they was like, so are we still doing our water balloon fight today? And I was like, oh, fuck. I'm like, these kids have seen some shit.
Yeah.
And like, I got to get out of my self right now. Like, I got to realize who I'm dealing with. And like, they like, man, what's popping for the rest of the day? And I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm like, whenever I'm dealing with kids or anybody, I can't put my own personal feelings into what they're dealing with because I don't know what the hell they done seen. These kids, like, man, I done seen, they probably seen people die. Like, they like, it is what it is. And so I'm like, damn, is that why I like check myself when I'm dealing with kids? It could be a kindergartner, I check myself. Like, I don't know what the hell that kindergartner could have got put out the house with their mama last night, and they don't know how to process being homeless because they only 5. I don't know. So, but like being in that, man, you're right, reliving that this week was like, I hadn't thought about the feeling of like putting those scissors into her neck in like 10 years. It's been a long time since I thought about like what that felt like. And I remember in that split second moment, like, I can't do this because I'm a stabber. Like, but reliving that shit, it fucks with you, man. But like, they ask you to dig deep, and you start digging deep, and you like, man, is this how y'all create like good leaders? Like they got to dig deep down into. I have never been asked that question before ever in my life. And I've been supervisors and like different school leaders, different places. But yeah, it was a heavy week when it came to that stuff. My bad, brainstorm, but I forgot about that, man.
You're good. So while we're talking about digging deep and things like that, ladies, I want to kind of touch base with y'all because obviously we're doing this poetry thing, and I feel like with poetry, a lot of times you do go into a lot of places where you have to find that emotion to put those words together and write those poems. So I want to ask each one of y'all, like, where did it start for you writing poetry, and like where's that place you kind of go to?
Well, for me, the poetry started as journal entries. So, I would just be writing stuff in my journal as I was unpacking it. And then I realized, I could probably do something with that. Or as sometimes I go back and read through my journal entries and cringe, because I'm like, ooh, I was real honest right here. I don't think I want to be that honest today. I don't think I want to deal with that. But then I start to see some patterns. And as I start to link things together, I'm like, oh, it gives me a deeper insight to myself and possibly even a deeper insight to other people as I start to figure myself out. So a lot of my stuff come from stuff that would have been journal entries.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I'm like Danielle, I didn't start off writing poetry. When my parents separated, we moved from New York to Baltimore City, inner city. And it was like, we were new to the area. We were used to, so in New York, all of our family members lived like around a corner from each other. Like we were almost like a little community. And so we, once we moved to Baltimore, it was definitely a different ball game. And we would play outside and stuff. But I think by about the 5th time we got robbed, my mom was like, yeah, we kept getting robbed, man.
You mean like the house, or like y'all just getting...
So it started, no, not, well, we did eventually get robbed at gunpoint, but that was later.
That was a different time.
Yeah,
that was a little later. It was just a little later. But and there's no shade to Baltimore. I love Baltimore. So sorry. I'm just saying it was what it was. But we, at first they were robbing our shed and like taking everything out of our shed. And then they started robbing the house. My mom was like, all right, we're not playing outside, right? And my mom is an educator. She taught for like 50 years. And so we just read books. We went to the library, like we was in the house, you know what I'm saying? So we read a lot of books, and we started writing stories. And we had books, like little notebooks, just so many books. And then eventually, when we moved here to Cleveland, so we just had a foundation of writing and reading. And then eventually we moved here to Cleveland, and my sister started going to this spot called the Kamikaze, right? Now I was writing poetry in secret when I was young, because my sister was like the poetry writer. So I would kind of, just write to myself, but where the emotion comes from, I think that when you are in a place where you don't know how to say or what to say, or you're going through things that you don't think that anyone would even understand, you just write it. And for me, like I said, we were writing stories, and then eventually, it just kind of turned into poetry. I just started writing poetry. And so, yeah, but moving here and going to the different poetry spots kind of grew me in that area. But yeah, just writing, because it's a safe place. It became a safe place.
Okay. What about you, Dana?
I became a poet in 2014. My mother passed away. And I began writing and didn't really know what I was doing. I think I was trying to journal, but it wasn't coming out like that. And then I remembered, like, I used to write raps when I was in high school.
Okay, Dana.
DJ Dana.
What was your rap name? Please,
Yeah.
Dana Danger. Come on, please tell us.
I don't even remember. It was a long time
Dana
ago.
G.
She remembers.
Anyway,
Yeah, she remember.
so writing, I realized it was poetry that I was writing, that I was always a writer. And I let the poetry help me to heal and grieve, and so that's how I became a poet.
Okay.
I got a question for y'all real quick. I tend to, dabble in the world of poetry as well.
We heard.
Every now and then I can tap into like a specific thing, but it has to be, I think I have to be knee deep in it. Like what I do, I'm helping somebody, we're putting the album together. So I'm like knee deep in her creative process. So I can like tap into the ether a little bit and like pull out what we've been, you know what I mean? Like her energy. But normally I don't even write what I'm feeling. I just write something and then the feeling I had goes away. So do y'all write specifically about the thing, or do you just write to get rid of the feeling? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, sometimes I write to unpack. So I try to channel the feeling itself.
Okay.
Because my goal as a poet is to walk you inside of the moment as it's happening. So I need to have the feeling, and it can be exhausting because it's emotional. So I mean, and you're digging in, it can be exhausting, but I need to channel the feeling and to understand it.
Okay.
Because sometimes, like you said, you write it down, or you let yourself fully have whatever feeling it is, and it'll go away.
I get it.
I think for me, I think initially, like, it all depends on the poem. So, like, if I'm literally unpacking something, then yes, I'm feeling it, I'm unpacking it. But I think that lots of times we don't always write from what we're feeling. Like, artists are empathetic. So we can write something, and we might even start off, and it might be about us, right? But then we thinking about this person, what this person said, and what this person said, and what this person is going through, and you're kind of, you can kind of see what they're dealing with, and that becomes a part of your poem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say mine is more informative. So I'll have an experience and then tell you about the experience, and then always come up with some solution or my experience with what happened in the end, to kind of inform you on what to
how you got through it.
Gotcha.
I think that's dope, because even the times that I write, it's literally based off of something I've gone through, in a sense, the bulk of them, I think. And a lot of my stuff has always been like relationship based, in a sense.
Do you do poetry?
I've wrote a couple things.
Oh.
I don't know.
The truth is uncovered.
I'm not about to recite nothing up here right now, but I don't know about heart. But yeah, I've wrote a couple things. But yeah, that's it's always been just what you've gone through. It's easier to tap that. I want to be better at just seeing something happen, like, and getting motivation. Like, I'm riding down the street and I see something, and then I'm like, you know what? You go home and you pull out some paper and you just, I'm not good at that. It's got to be like a lived experience for me, almost, for me to kind of, write about it. I can never be a rapper lying about my,
what you did.
Yeah. I shot 5 niggas. That ain't gonna be me. That ain't gonna be me.
I did not do that.
But you know
You
what?
know what? If you've been shot before, then you can identify.
With shooting.
Yeah, if you have friends that did shootings,
Oh, yeah.
you can identify, and you can be like, all right, I got a poem from another view, from a friend's view.
Yeah.
But Nyla said it like, and I never looked at it this way. I think it's hard for me to write about what I'm going through in the moment. Whenever I try to do that, I end up writing about something else. But I can write about something somebody else is experiencing easily, especially if I'm tapped into them.
Yep.
It's why I'm decent at writing songs and definitely poems about what they have going on.
Yeah.
Like you tell me what you got going on, I can boom. All right, let's go. Me though, I might be going through a relationship wise, and I'll start writing something about the black experience. Like for real. But that same energy, it'll be some shit like
Right.
feet planted firmly, like oh yeah, in the soil of the ancestors of my
shackles.
slave. I break shackles. I'm going through it. But really, I'm like fuck that man. All right. Anyway.
So we're doing this event, this pod and poetry thing, but I know that this is something that on our side we had talked about doing something on our on the DMST side, and so you all were looking at getting into that space too. So what was the origins of y'all wanting to kind of put something on Poetry Rise in front of people?
You mean as a performer or
No, just like an event type of thing, because I'm pretty sure y'all take part in different events. But what was what's the like the background on y'all kind of wanting to do it kind of on your own in a sense?
To have better conversations about poetry, because it's like when we get together and we talk with other poets and really dissect things like line by line, like oh you put this together, and we start breaking it down, the conversations get so deep. And it's just an opportunity to do that, and to actually have a deeper conversation about it. Because if you're in a slam or if you're doing a performance, you got your 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, and you get up there and you say
3
your
minutes
piece
and 10 seconds.
before
And
the
not a second more.
And it's like, you don't get to really dig in, or you don't get to hear how other people are responding to it, because some people might come up after and be like, oh, that was so dope. And, that touched on what I'm going through right now, or, but we could have a more open conversation about it.
Yeah, and I think that like it allows people to be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like it presents a creative space for people to be able to talk about something. So it's not like somebody getting up in front of the room lecturing about a particular topic, and you're just sitting there listening. But it's something that's creative, and our whole being is wrapped up in rhythm and music. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it just creates a really creative way. It presents a creative way for people to be able to communicate.
I'm gonna say it gives me the opportunity to say thank you, because that person, has bared their soul. I know what it means to write a poem when you're in a space and for it to pour out onto into words, and then for you to recite that, you're bearing your soul to the world, and if I'm blessed to be in the room to hear it, then I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I got something for everything that people will be talking about today, but shout out to Kat. We was just up here going through her project, and since I started the pod, I've been sitting on this poetry album for years. 20 songs deep. And the first time I'm ever going to do a poem on music, on a release, is going to be Kat's album. And I think that's going to be my catapult to putting it out.
Yes.
Because I've just been sitting on it forever.
That's not unnormal, though.
But
it's not
now is a
normal.
good time to go on ahead and do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops. Now is a good time to do that, though, because it's time for us to get our stories out there. And it's time for us to explore these other platforms and ways that we could do it. Like with the technology advancements that we have now, it's a time for people that have been sitting on stuff. Because I used to be that person that the first time I shared my poetry in front of people, 2015 maybe? Okay, maybe technically technically it was 2014, but that was only like a very small crowd of people, you know, so I felt comfortable doing that. But I didn't really start doing it till 2015. Maybe it was 2016. I don't know. Recently, like within the last 8 years or so, because I always figured, oh, nobody want to hear what I got to say. And then I went to a friend of ours has a spot called Larchmere Arts. So when he opened his spot,
we went there. We went there.
there.
I did some stuff there. Cool. About three years ago.
Yeah, we've been out there.
Yeah, so when he first opened his spot for the neo soul poetry, I was like, well, I'll get up and do the open mic. I looked around the room, I'm like, I don't know nobody in here. So if it's terrible, I don't know nobody. But then I got such a positive response. I was like, okay, maybe I'll do some, maybe I'll share some more. So you might be thinking that your story, your experience doesn't mean anything. And it's touched somebody. So now is the time for all you people out there listening that think that nobody want to hear your story. Now's the time to get it out there.
I'm gonna put it out.
And I
I'm
just
gonna put it
wanna
out. I'm putting it
share
out
this.
after Cat's thing. I'm putting it out, man.
Go ahead.
It's not unnormal that you're waiting. Like, first of all, procrastination is the wisdom. Like, when you know it's time, you're gonna do it. And it's gonna be time, right? It's gonna come in the right time. You know what I'm saying? But don't. Like, not when you're like maybe 99. You know what I'm saying?
It's coming out either later this year or early. It's coming out after. I'm put Cats out first. And I'm putting it out, man. I'm putting it out.
Put it out.
But to her point, you know, I performed at this Juneteenth event, and like, you know, Juneteenth was a couple months ago. 2 months later, actually Friday, this sister came up to me and she said, my nieces were so impacted by seeing you on that stage and by your poetry. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I had to work that day, and it was like I was busting a move everywhere I had to be, because it was like a very multifaceted day, but I knew I wanted to do it, you know? And so, you know, I was tired. I wasn't sure. I'm like, did this come out right? You know what I'm saying? Because I have been, you know, working all day, you know, and, you know, she was just like, they talked about it the whole ride home. They want to like learn what their gifts are and what their talents are. And, you know, I was just like, wow, like we really have an impact when we step out of our box.
All right.
Yeah, and that's kind of no different than us sitting here doing the podcast too. I mean, we've over our years of doing it, these 6+ years. I mean, we've, you know, sometimes you sit here and you think you're just talking into space in a sense. I mean, we're used to. I mean, we know people tune in and watch the live. I know that the YouTube is a little
choppy today. I don't know what the hell is going on.
We
got zero drop frames on here, but for some reason, it must be YouTube acting funny today.
It's either that or Spectrum. Some with Spectrum.
No, it's not dropping frames. So I don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's this computer. I have no idea.
So we do apologize for that. Y'all know that the audio version will still be out on Tuesday. But yeah, like I was saying, like you're talking to this space. We know people tune in and watch us live on Sundays. But then you still are just talking until every now and then you get a message from somebody who you said something on the show that you thought was like a throwaway thing in a sense, or like we always bring up the one time we was talking about the like mental health and stuff like that, like among men and stuff like that, and we got a message from somebody that somehow they had really been going through it, but hearing guys sitting down talking about it had an impact on them and stuff like that, or people that's, you know, that's wrote into us and asked for advice on stuff. They going through stuff with different things in their life, and it's just like, as much fun as we have sitting up here talking sometimes, so you just think that you just up here like we can do this in our sleep. This is 311 shows, and we've done countless other ones that's not an actual podcast episode. We can do this in our sleep. So you can take it for granted sometimes, but then you never know the times that you saying something where it's just like it's really impacting somebody, and you just sometimes you get hit with it. It's like, wow, you know, and you really do get taken aback by it.
Yeah.
And you know what to what you just said, I think is super important right now, because the conversations that I've had with black men, I realized something, that a lot of black men don't have the same kind of support groups that we have. Like when I'm with my sisters and we talking about stuff and we unpacking stuff, you know, a lot of black men don't feel like there's any place for them to be safe and be vulnerable and be able to say what's really going on in their heads. And I think that's why it's even more important for black men to get their stories out. Because, you know, the stories, the conversations I've been having with black men are they feel underrepresented. You know, I've had some black men say, well, you know, we know that the LGBT plus community is getting, you know, their stuff out, but, you know, every time they look at TV, the images that they see of black men don't represent them, you know? So,
to me, it's simple. I mean, anybody can be gay, but only black men are black men. I mean, I think that's why that agenda just went forward, because you could be Asian, Latino, black, white, whatever.
Yeah.
So that just has more people, you know what I mean, in it. To be honest with you,
it's more inclusive.
Yeah, it's more inclusive. It's more
crazy how
people.
that
We still just black men.
Yeah.
And it's. I was watching something the other day. Listen, I've talked about it before on the pod, but Instagram and YouTube, their YouTube like Reels thing has my algorithm down to a T. Social media got me at this point.
It has me too.
I can be on there because I'm not wasting time.
Right.
It's a lot of relationship stuff. It's a lot of I love sports. It's a lot of stuff I would enjoy. Like I would be watching this stuff if I wasn't on YouTube. But I was watching this thing the other day, and it was a couple women sitting down talking, and they were talking about men and black men, but men in particular, whereas guys go through it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not fashionable to be let's give them a space for a couple days to be emotionally unstable. You know what I mean? But if you move in with a woman, it's already built in. Listen, for a couple days out this month, you got to give her space. You got to let her be. Whatever she says, she really don't mean. She just going through it. We don't never get that grace to just be doing some shit because it's in our nature. And I'm sorry, but my nature took over for a few days. I apologize. No, if I do it, I got to stand on that shit 31 days a month, even in February. Even in February.
Yeah.
I got to stand on what I do every second, every day. I get no redos. I can't be like, well, last week it was 2 days before my psych. I'm like, okay, I got it. It's all right, baby. I get it. Well, but I'm like, wow. I was watching that, and I'm like, okay. People are having these conversations. It's in the world. It's in the, it's in the universe.
It's in the ether. It's in the
Well, we are in the age of Aquarius right now. Which means that, opening up to our feelings and understanding our emotions and communicating that stuff.
That's part of it.
It's all billowing up right now. It's all it's got to happen.
All the knowledge is here.
to happen.
All of the knowledge is here for everyone to know. It's all here in this age. It is.
So people struggling with relationships, keep on struggling because, I mean, it's part of the healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. One of the things I did want to say really quick when you were talking, a lot of times when we get a memory from way back and you can't even remember last time you thought about it, that is an opportunity for healing. It's an opportunity for you to feel it, to go through it. You never know if you're supposed to be writing a poem about this. You never know, but you have to go through it and feel it, and that is the way you get through it and heal it.
Yeah.
And too many people, I feel like, don't want to go through it and feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say it's not really in the past though.
It's not. But they think it is. They think
It's like a piece of toilet paper on the back of your heel. You kicking, and it's not going nowhere. It's like.
So let's do this real quick before we kind of pivot a little bit. But so the event, August 24th, poetry. I want to talk about how it's going to kind of go. I know the very first one is going to feature you three ladies reciting poetry, and as y'all said, kind of talking. So we want to talk about how it's going to kind of look, how the kind of the event's going to play out that day.
Well, I visualize just, of course, a space that screams serene and peaceful and calming, healing because, poetry, of course, can get live. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever, any of you all ever been to like a poetry slam? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, poetry, of course, can get live or what have you. But I mean, I feel like the theme that everyone is talking about right now is healing, and I feel like when people enter into a space, when you set that tone, kind of like how y'all do. Yeah.
It's about R&B and like creating a mood. So hey, you do what you're good at. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all do well. I wanted to,
We'll circle back to that in a second. Go ahead and finish.
But ultimately creating the vibe of, creating a particular energy to put people in that space where they know that they are safe. And that they're safe and calm to communicate and safe and calm to listen, and absorb the information.
And cry.
If the need is be.
You're safe to cry. Yeah. Because I think a lot of black men don't know that. We reversing that. Listen, you're okay to cry.
Okay.
I'm just.
Brainstorm has never cried a day in his life.
None of us are ever.
Well, he came out the womb like.
Yeah. Can we say this? Can I say something? Can I say something real quick? Because we're gonna have to get real. Like my soul is getting. I got to get Devish at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Come on with it, then. Come on,
Dev. Come on out.
I think. I don't know if black men can be vulnerable and share tears in the spaces that they feel safe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The world we live in for black men is not really a safe place.
I agree.
And I gotta it's weird. I mean, everybody does, and I'll never say anything trying to say anybody else doesn't. You know what I mean? But the level in which we got to keep our head on a swivel. It kind of like you balancing constantly keeping my head on the swivel and staying above water, staying alive, not getting caught up in the streets and all this other shit. And I got to be, man, I ain't got time for that. I just got to be, but I think we are vulnerable in the right setting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially with the right woman.
Yes. Oh, it got to be the right one.
It got to be the right one. Because you can't be crying around the one that's going to be like, yo, crying ass nigga. The other day. And them the ones you can't, but it's a lot of them.
Oh, it's
a lot of them. That'll throw that right back up in your face.
And you know what?
Cry baby ass. Here we go.
Honestly, I have to confess, I did not know that I was not a safe space for men until the last couple of years. I didn't even know it. I thought that I was just, I realized I was in my own trauma. So sometimes, men be trying to help you out and you can't even accept it because you in your own trauma. You already thought 3 steps ahead of what could have happened. Like, he just wants something. Like, nah, I don't trust that. But I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that I was, one of those people like, oh, come on now. I know you're not about to cry because I got too many things to do than to deal with you crying and this. So I didn't realize that I was part of the problem. But, for the times that we are actually trying to be present for each other, if people call me out and make me realize, or at least, let me know that we've hit a nerve somewhere, then I can be aware of when I've fallen back into that energy, but, we gotta, I guess the first part is we gotta heal ourselves first to be able to understand that we were not present for the people we care about. So that's the first thing. But yeah, I get it that black men have to vet who they can do that in front of, because I get it. I get it now, I should say.
And it's just so weird because I just feel like the black experience is so layered.
It is.
It's so, because like we could talk about all these things. We could talk about, like you're saying, you want a safe space for men to be emotional around you, but You know, you can be on social media, you can be seeing things about how black men aren't protecting women, but you got this going on with this layer of black people, and you got this going on with, it's just like we're so layered, and it's just we're our own worst enemies in a lot of sense too, because we don't take care of ourselves, you know, first and foremost, so we're never even putting ourselves in the best position to even be good for the people who are around us that mean the most to us, because we don't take care of ourselves first and foremost. You know, so I can say, so it's like a cycle that just keeps going.
And I think that is part of our that's been a part of what we've been talking about for a long time is, you know, always prior to COVID, you know, I had these spaces, and they were conversations between males and females and multi-generational. But that's something that's very important, because having those conversations, and it's not going to be an overnight process, but continuing to create a space where we can feel safer in communicating with each other. And it's not, you know, and it's voluntary, you know what I'm saying? I think, I mean, we can chip away at that. We can chip away at that iceberg, you know what I'm saying? And it's, I mean, because it's really up to us. And like the black experience is so unique. You know, oftentimes we don't even know how unique it is. Like, there's so many layers to it, and a lot of us didn't come around until the 80s, you know what I'm saying? And so there's so much that is implanted in us, that is embedded in us, that we don't even understand why we do what we do. You know, and so we are fighting ghosts. We're fighting the ghosts that we can see, and we're fighting the demons that we can see, you know. And so, and not while
Don't
it's
be up
not
here
always
dropping bars like that.
You know what I mean?
Okay. You're going to have to come back and look at this podcast again and write that line back.
Or listen, because we got to listen to this one.
I got it.
Okay,
Because this is choppy in the mud on here.
Yeah. We're going to make sure y'all get the links out and get the links out to y'all people.
Okay.
And while it's not all demons, we have so much positivity. There are layers, like you said, and I feel like that was the best word to use. You know, and I just feel like we are all we got, and it's up to us.
We all we got.
We all we got, and it's up to us. And if we truly want to get on the same page and be in a space where we can function together, because, and I think this was part of the conversation we had earlier, there are certain things that past generations have told us. Some of it is very, very great, but some of it is not going to work for us right now. You know what I'm saying?
We got to throw in the trash. Like.
So there are certain things that we have to redefine so that we can move forward in a conscious way.
A lot of this conversation speaks of this book that we just had a book discussion about, My Grandmother's Hands by Resmaa Menakem. It's an amazing book. It gives tools. He talks about the different layers of how we are here and what that is, where that comes from, all of that. Like, and he gives tools on healing practices that we can do now to get us healing individually and then healing as a community. So it's an amazing book. It's an amazing
It is.
We just finished.
I may have to add that to my list. I'm in the middle of like 5 books right now, so
That
I can't add nothing else on right now.
It's a book that you're going to want to go back. You're going to want to read, but then go back and keep going back to this book. It's an amazing book. Like, it's one of those you got to keep revisiting.
Piece by piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too much to digest at once.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's a little bit of an elephant. It's a little bit of an elephant.
All right, well, again, August 24th, we're going to be doing the first pod and poetry at Positive Escape. That's what, for the people that listen to our show a lot, you know, that's where we do our pod and R&B. So we want to invite everybody to come out on the 24th. Are the links out there for everything?
Not for Eventbrite. It'll be out tomorrow.
Okay, so the links will be out tomorrow. So by the time this hit on Tuesday, we'll have the information for everybody. Like I said, I'll make sure y'all get the links to the audio too, so that y'all can push it out to y'all to all y'all peoples too. So we hope to see everybody there on the 24th. I think it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. I think it'll be dope.
I might even get up there and have to recite something myself.
Come on with it.
Hey,
I might
come
have to.
on with it. We can come
I might
on
have
with
to.
it.
You know what I'm saying? But so we'll see. But so we want to thank y'all for working with us and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this. Prior to I was having a conversation, I think it was with you, Dana. I don't know. Sometimes my conversations with these two kind of
merge together.
They merge together. I'm like, I don't know which one of y'all was talking to, especially y'all names, Dana, Danielle. Mm-hmm. But I had just been in every space that I'm in. I'm raising a man. And more I'm like, the male voice needs to be amplified. And I take the opportunity to partner with Black men every time I get the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because we need to be visually seen together working on things, you know what I'm saying, that are positive, you know what I'm saying? But I had just said prior, I was like, I would like to do this with some brothers, you know what I'm saying? And then, when the opportunity came about, I was like, now look at that. Look at God.
Yeah, and we've connected very well since we've talked, the couple times we obviously meeting up here the one time and then doing a Zoom meeting, we've connected very well. I want to transition into that a little bit because I want two things I want to ask. Well, first one, I probably forget the second one, but first one, you pulled up at Pod and R&B. Yes. I want to see what you thought about the experience of Pod and R&B.
The environment.
Yeah.
So, first of all, everyone is dressed up, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that that's powerful within itself, especially in this day and age with the saggingest of jeans sometimes, and boxer shorts blanching our eyes on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? It's just really, but it feels really nice to walk into this space. First of all, the space is beautiful. So it's a very nice space, and it's multifaceted. So, you walk in and you're getting one feel, and then you're walking back and you're getting another feel, And so I would say I was captivated immediately by the event and by the conversation. I generally, upon first, being in the space, I'll kind of hang back and kind of watch, and then I might say something. But I felt compelled.
Yeah. She was early on like this.
I was like, I have a question. But I, in keeping the conversation going and being a female voice, what I'm saying? I felt like it was important, but the energy was amazing. James is a great host. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you are an amazing DJ. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And y'all whole vibe and y'all connection is great. But just the music. And one thing that I really did appreciate was that the brothers was talking. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You all present, I think y'all being how y'all are, communicative and open. The brothers was talking. The brothers was communicating. You know what I'm saying?
It was a lot. It was
one thing we're going to say, you put podcasters in the room, because even like King K, shout out to King K for the Nights. He was probably the one that, he even said it on Facebook. He was like, I think I was talking a lot or whatever. But it's like, I say all the time, you put podcasters in the room, you give them a microphone.
It's go time.
It's automatic. It's almost like when you talking about meeting with other poets and y'all talk about different things. It's the same thing with podcasters. So you put us in a room, it's gonna be conversation. So that was a good thing. So I'm actually glad that you enjoyed the experience. And the second thing that was on my mind was
the rose petals.
Yeah,
I felt like somebody.
I think that's Deb's idea. The roses.
I felt
you gotta
like
set the mood.
The roses, the
loving
lights.
me personally. They're they're for everybody.
Yeah. It's a dope experience. I hope a lot more people come out and enjoy as we keep pushing that forward. And then the second thing that was on my mind, like I said, as we've been, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the thing that I said upon leave. I said I wish the room was 3 times as large.
Yeah, that's what we were.
But I think that's the way things are sometimes, and the more. Sometimes the intimate is good because of the energy, but the room was full, and the energy was live, and I just feel like because of the types of conversations, I wish it had been more people there, but everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, the crazy thing is the room was full, but it's like I've told people too, I'm like, that was not even our biggest crowd we've had. Mm-hmm. Like we've had some really good sized crowds.
But that one was pretty.
That one was a nice crowd though.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. It really was. Mm-hmm. And they participated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other people besides me and
Yeah.
Yeah, you and King K.
What else you had?
MTV too was talkative. Yeah. But all right. So the second thing, like I said, we've been a very good rapport. Every time we've talked, again, the meeting up here, the first time we met, and then the Zoom meeting and stuff like that. But somehow y'all just pulled us off into some like uncharted territory when we were on a Zoom call where we got to talking about cereal. And we was talking about like the best cereal and stuff. I mean, like, can we expound on that conversation a little bit?
We definitely can.
I mean,
I thought we were gonna have some cereal when we came in here today.
I didn't respect some of the answers, so I wasn't gonna buy that now.
I mean, like, we did agree on some of the basic things. So, of course, cereal in the bowl first, and then milk. If you put milk in the bowl first, you're a terrorist. You're definitely
something
a
wrong
terrorist.
with you, man. You wasn't ready. You wasn't hugging me. You was little.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just.
Whoa. Come on now.
I do not put the only way that I think the milk should go in the bowl first is if you are dealing with a cereal that is not sweet and you have to get that milk sweet, because sometimes the sugar will settle on the bottom. Because people be trying to play like you don't put. They be like, I don't put no sugar in my cereal. Yes, you do. You know what I'm saying? You ain't that healthy.
Oh, you eat
know
those
what I'm saying?
adult
Hold on. You
cereals.
just hit a new level of hood bougie. You mean to tell me? Hold on. You mean to tell me you go milk and sugar so you can get all the sugar?
You gotta mix it in real good and make sure that the milk is sweet enough.
Let me tell you something about the hood.
If you put the shredded wheat in there, and I love shredded wheat, so if you put the shredded wheat in there and then the sugar's on the bottom, it's hard to stir.
That's the problem.
That bowl with
you
all
got
that.
You got them grass flakes in there.
That's what I was about to say.
That's like oil and water. It don't mix.
That grown people cereal.
I mean,
Got your regular. Just
I was about to say I'm over 40. Everything got to keep it moving.
Because if you ate a bowl of Apple Jacks,
you good to go no matter what.
The milk gonna be sweet. Now, that's the only way you should have the milk in the bowl first. Is if you already ate a bowl and you just want a little more.
Yeah, you kind of topping it off.
Yeah,
and that's still disrespectful. I can't even
How
explain
is
it.
that disrespectful?
I don't know. It's never hit the same the second time around for me.
Yeah.
Really? Cereal is cereal for me.
Because the milk is a little warmer.
The add a little more milk to it. Yes.
You got to add a little more milk to it, though.
Yeah.
But then that offsets the sweetness.
Yes, it's
still not the same.
Because I always got to have 2 bowls of cereal. I just go. I'm never a 1 bowl person.
I just go Ice Cube and Friday with my bowl of cereal.
I'm never putting no ice in my cereal.
No, I'm talking about the size.
Okay.
Like give me the big boy.
I've seen people put ice in it though. It doesn't feel right in my soul.
Yeah. No.
That doesn't feel right.
No, you can't do that. But this is hood 101 too. When you didn't know how to do the refrigerator right. And you might have your milk with a little bit of ice flakes in it. You know what I'm saying?
Freeze a little bit.
That hit different too. It's like ice cold. Oh, that's good stuff right there. But that's because your refrigerator was probably broken back in the day.
Probably was.
Yeah, we had that top shelf where it froze everything.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
All right, so once and for all, I'll go around. You got something?
No, I do, but go ahead.
No, go.
No, go ahead. Go.
I just want to say once and for all, go around the room one last thing. We talked about it on our call. But what is your favorite cereal?
I gotta go with the classic Frosted Flakes. I gotta,
They pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
I like Golden Grams, but
What? Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm judging you.
Don't judge me. The thing is that I've been reading a lot of ingredients lately. There was a couple that concern me, so I don't eat them anymore.
Oh yeah, man, we've been eating like Yellow 5 since we was 3 years old.
It's more than yellow. I know red number 40, yellow 5, blue number 6. I know.
Yeah,
I know. But I do like Golden Grams, and close second is Honey Nut Cheerios. Yes.
I be wondering. I be wondering.
What do you wonder?
How this stuff's still on the shelves, and there be people.
It's her.
I saw the thing earlier.
Honey Nut Cheerios has a light hint of honey good sweetness and it lowers cholesterol.
Both of those got honey, and it's just a wild combo. I mean,
You know who else ate Honey Nut Cheerios?
I'm scared.
Omar from The Wire. Omar coming.
As I said, I'm scared.
Serious.
We got something coming.
But like somebody said earlier, I saw on Twitter, Mookie Montanio, he said, "Who the hell is keeping Happy's Pizza open?" That's what I feel about Golden
open one at
Grams.
EC again.
Yeah, like who the hell? Who?
I keep hearing, I work over there. And
You
people
know-
keep saying it's good. People like it's good.
It's
but
not.
greasy.
It's not.
I've never been there, but people like if I
Who the
have
hell
like
is like?
if I have like a diaper giveaway or something, I'll be
Yeah, I
you
heard
know,
on the radio the other day they were opening one in East Cleveland or something like that. Or
Lord
again,
Jesus.
so I mean, I said I feel the same way about Little Caesars. Like, who is keeping Little Caesars open these days?
Just broke people because of the $5.
Yeah, it's
That
hot
$5
and it's
And it's
ready.
convenient when you got a bunch of kids in the house. I can't lie. I done
They didn't
I
say
done
it
Little
was good.
Caesar
They
did.
said it was hot
And
It
ready.
was
hot and ready.
Hot and ready.
They painted no false promises. They painted no false promises.
No. What kind of pizza? I got a pizza that's hot and ready. You want
It's
it?
hot
Yeah.
and it's ready. That's all we giving you.
Is it good? Is it hot?
But believe it or not, I DoorDash on the side. Believe it or not, Happy's be busting.
I
I know.
don't get it.
I mean,
I ain't never had anything from Happy's that I was like, that's the best thing I've ever had. Like it's always second rate. The pizza second rate. The wing second. Everything's second rate.
I don't like none of those pizzas that's kind of like ready. Even the Marcos, right? Marcos or Giorgio's, one of them. Do
Giorgio's.
Like
is
the, yeah,
the-
I don't like them either.
Giorgio's tastes like cardboard.
Yeah, I
when
don't
you
like them
cold.
either. Any of those $5 is ready for you. No,
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
People be coming out of there on a regular though. I be seeing them.
'Cause
I
it's
be
cheap.
seeing them.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
I have never like and then okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm feeling like I'm.
Go ahead.
Well, I didn't know it was open, and then because it doesn't give like an open look.
With Giorgio's?
The Happies.
Oh, Happy? He said it don't give an open look.
People don't go. People don't go in here.
Yeah, but people be
Yeah.
coming out. It's not until I see people coming out, and then like if people are trying to get directions to my job, they be like, "Over there by Happies." I'm like, "Oh, you're familiar." Yeah. So I mean, people be coming out there. They be kicking it.
I had a free pizza from there once because the person canceled their order as I had just picked it up.
How was it? It was
Give
mediocre at best.
I don't trust nobody to get pizza. Hey, you want pepperoni? You want this?
Okay.
It wasn't good, and
Dana,
I'm
what's
sorry
yours?
if anybody from Happy's that I have to go in there and
That's
see
what
you
I was
and
trying
see
really
this,
hard
but I
not
just gotta
to.
tell the truth. It was
So,
not good.
The truth
My
shall set you free.
cereal is
She like
because we
back
got
to my
way off.
cereal.
Yeah.
We did. Okay.
My cereal is Captain Crunch peanut butter.
Oh, you had me too. Why peanut? What's going on? Okay, go ahead.
I like the peanut butter, and then I do.
Why
like,
you hating on everybody's cereal, man?
I do like shredded wheat. When I'm trying to get regular. Every once in
I
a
do
while.
like shredded wheat.
I'm over 40. No, I'm 40.
Me too.
Okay.
Well, I'm over 40, so I need to
I
eat
mean-
something with some. What about y'all?
I
What's
feel like
y'all's? Did y'all say
cereal
yours?
is a delicacy. Like I don't eat cereal for breakfast. Like I eat cereal for like I want some cereal.
Yes.
So I eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Fucking Captain Crunch. Like if I'm eat some cereal, I'm eat some cereal.
That sounds
I ain't gonna
good.
eat no like
No,
wheat
no
thin
shredded
cereal. Like,
wheat stuff. Yeah, I'm not.
I'm gonna just make.
I'm with you. Yeah. I agree. Cause like my favorite party is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I mean, outside of that, I mean, I'll still get some Wheaties and fuck some Wheaties up.
Yeah.
I'll fuck
Some
up some
sugar?
Frosted Flakes.
Please tell me you put sugar on the Wheaties.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I'm not a terrorist. Hey, I'm not
about
a
to be
terrorist.
like-
Okay, I'm not a
I was
terrorist.
gonna rethink everything. We
No,
have.
You
no.
was about to
Do
be
you put it in
worried,
the
weren't
milk?
you?
You put it in the
You
milk
was about to be
first
worried.
No, I don't do that either.
No.
I put the cereal in, then I put my sugar on, and then I put the milk on.
I have a
Yeah.
confession.
If
to
I go
make.
in your house and you got milk in your bowl and there's no cereal in there, I swear to God,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
calling
do
the
that.
police.
It's not what I'm talking about.
All right.
I have a confession to make. I had to go to a. I used to have a cereal addiction. And when my life started to become I needed cereal every day. Like I don't know.
I love your addiction. That's a good.
I had a no.
I know.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. Like it was like on my way home. Do I got cereal at home? Like daily. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a guilty pleasure before I went to bed, just eating a bowl of cereal. You know what I'm saying? Like sitting in
You
front of
deserve it.
That's what I'm saying.
I like good addictions. You know what I'm saying?
But
That's a good addiction.
it was, but I mean, you go and you refill that bowl a little bit. It was financially starting to impact my life. No, I'm just playing.
You know what? The fact that you said, we should have known something. She said, well, sometimes you got to put a sugar in there, stir it up. I said, this is an advanced cereal eater right here.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
ain't never even thought about that part of it.
See, I did bring up a very critical part that you didn't even
She
think
got
about.
the goggles on in the kitchen.
Yes.
Right. Steam coming up out the bowl.
Right,
like
right.
a scientist.
There is
Right.
a strategy with certain things. I got the dark light going. You know what I'm saying? It's just a strategy with certain things that you have to ensure that your cereal eating experience is optimal.
So
Because-
is that
yes.
why you switched to shredded wheat, or were there more sugary cereals in your past before it got
There were sugary
bad?
sugary cereals in my past. I used to have I don't know what it was about Honey Smacks, but they was banging.
Honey Smacks. They used to.
They be hitting.
Back in 1987, not now.
You
That
just
and
smack
Cookie
and I
Crisp.
smack it
When
back.
I was little,
Honeycomb.
Cookie Crisp and Honey Smacks. Listen.
Honey Smacks and Honeycomb. I'm sorry, like I did. It was an addiction. I had to do some praying. I had to go.
You got some things with honey.
She did
I
an
do.
exorcism.
I do like honey, but my name means the bee, so that might be what it is. But yeah, it was like I had to go cold turkey. I had to shut myself down. I had to go home and lock my door and just put myself through the withdrawal. I had to shut it down.
Okay then. All right then.
Now I'm able to have
I
a
can't take the
healthy.
seriousness of this. Now I'm able to live my life cereal free.
Now I'm able to have a healthy balance.
This is like crack. Like now, I can go into a bar and not have a shot of Hennessy.
Right.
Now,
Oh my God.
I am able to have a healthy relationship with cereal. Like
Yes, man. You deserve
I
to
can buy.
She lost me when she said she went home and locked the door. Like, yo,
She out the window. Oh, there's a fucking box out there.
right.
As if the cereal is outside. The cereal is in your cupboard.
Let me tell you
It can
something.
get you if it wants
Let me
to.
explain something to you. When you have a cereal addiction, it is right outside. It's outside everywhere. It's at every corner store. It's at every
It's
Family
at Aldi's,
Dollar. It's at Ordy's. If you go to the gas station, they got the little boxes there for you.
Oh,
It's
you know what
everywhere.
killed you? You know they got like not
The
Ziploc.
Ziploc cereal
You can
bags
pour
at the
milk in that
dollar
joint
store.
and eat it at the store at work.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
boom.
It's like a walking taco. It's a walking box.
Walking cereal. Huh? Walking cereal. Okay.
It's like walking cereal, man, and it's for those of us who struggle with cereal addiction. It is
You might be
definitely.
one-on-one. You know what? This is what we have the Google here for. If I find this, I swear to God, I'm going to a meeting. I'm going undercover.
There's a
I'm
meeting.
going undercover.
There is a meeting.
So what 12-step program for cereal addiction did you attend?
Well, it's kind of.
There you go.
There.
Is it
there.
there?
I told
Cereal
you.
addiction.
Yes.
Yes. See, I didn't make it up.
21 signs
Sometimes
of
your
cereal addiction.
is
Got
getting
it.
out
Out
of
of
hand.
hand.
Click on it.
You
I
believe
promise
that
you.
cereal is acceptable for meal for
It is. Hold on. It's acceptable for every occasion. It is.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
I
what
mean,
else is there?
I tell you what, though, I'm about to get married, so if y'all want to say that cereal is an acceptable meal, bruh, it'll save me a few thousand. You know what I'm saying?
Look, when I was a
You
kid,
just see-
Just like that.
No, we didn't.
now that's sacrilegious. They know they should have drank that milk.
Oh,
I know they wasting all that milk.
Man.
ooh-wee.
Now I will
Hold
give
on,
it
no,
to
hold on. Do you drink the milk after the cereal?
you.
Yeah.
I don't like milk. I don't like the thickness of milk.
I can't stand milk.
Milk is a little too thick
I actually
for
think
me.
I'm
Oh, no,
lactose
no,
intolerant
no. Cover
anyway,
your
so I
eyes.
don't like
I don't
it.
want you to see this because,
It's okay. I'm in a healthier space.
They got Captain
I'm in a
Crunch.
healthier space.
Yeah.
oh, that's
But
the
you
roof
know-
killers.
Not peanut butter though.
Oh, the hell
What is
happened
that?
there?
What is? Listen, the combination cereals do hit different. 'Cause
They
I-
do.
I told you.
You
I
mix them cereals.
cinnamon checks and
You know
chocolate
I'm a
checks together.
scientist. I done together to find a proper balance.
Y'all out here sounding like the mad scientists right now.
In college, though, we used to.
That's crazy.
We used to go into the cafeteria. We would take old juice jugs and we would fill it with milk, and then our cereal thing used to turn the thing and it would come out into the bowl. And we would take like little containers and just turn the cereal and take all the Fruity Pebbles. Listen, this is the messed up part. We in college, we don't know when this milk expires. We just took it out the tap from the cafeteria. So we got this milk in the fridge for 9 days.
I'm sure it was fine.
I mean, you survived.
Yeah, we survived.
Right.
And you
We
still here.
survived.
Right.
We did get COVID a
Right.
couple years after we graduated from college. About 15 years after we graduated. So who knows?
I just say, did that have an impact?
Man, it might have, because we showed up was eating that. We like, oh no, the milk smell good.
Yeah, it's all
As
right.
long as it smells fine. I did want to say this about the Pod and Poetry Night. I was gonna say that it's definitely gonna be a range of feelings and emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a lot of happiness. You know what I'm saying? A lot. It's gonna be empowering. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be multifaceted. It's not all gonna be like one thing. That's the thing about poetry, is that it can go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But what I think I'm excited about is inviting people into the conversation of like the breakdown of what they got from different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because you can see things, different people can see things so many different ways.
Yeah.
And hearing people kind of go through our words and kind of say what they got. I think it'll just spark a really powerful conversation.
I don't mean to go too far off. We've been having very positive conversation.
But to transition a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay,
we ain't gonna hold y'all for too much
let's,
longer.
Well,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
cereal addiction was serious. First of all,
Yeah.
that helped me be validated.
I wish it wasn't freezing. Oh, it don't look like the feed is freezing as much now. So if somebody tune in, they can see better.
That
She is leaned
helped
in as if
me be validated in my experience.
you should do a TED talk.
I should.
On
No,
cereal
I
addiction.
can.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
real.
So
I can do a TED talk on this because it's something that, I was alone in. And as we can see,
I think it might be cereal addiction places in the city. Put
maybe a
Cleveland.
meeting, maybe.
Put Cleveland.
And now it's making me wonder, were you really addicted to the cereal or to the sugar?
The
Because
sugar.
milk,
Can we? She was addicted to sugar.
right? Because milk has sugar in it. Cereal
messing with
has
you.
I
I'm
sugar.
messing
could
with
have just got a bowl of milk and sugar. I'm saying a cup of it. I'm saying like it was the whole experience.
Oh,
You wanted the
I'm
crunch
glad you
and
kicked. I'm
the-
glad you kicked this habit because I'm glad. Is the feedback?
Oh, my God.
Not
I have
really.
no idea.
Because Cleveland.
I just signed in. I saw people saying somebody was sounding far away or something. So I don't know. We might have to click on
okay.
volumes.
I don't know.
At this
We'll
point,
figure
it
I hope what you call is reading right. No, it is. Okay. No. They have opened these
cereal bars.
remix cereal bars. Yeah, I'm glad you have. She put her glasses.
Take them back off.
Okay.
But they got these cereal bars. You can go in and mix all these different cereals and all this different kind of stuff. Yeah, it's on the west side.
Yes, none of them even in
It's
our-
on the west side? No. On the west side
That's
of
not
Cleveland.
what
Oh, yeah,
he-
Clifton.
That's not what he said.
On the west side of
Take your
That's not
glasses
Cleveland.
what
off.
he said.
Yeah, no, you don't need to see nothing right now.
The west side is not far.
So anyway, the Pod and Poetry.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. But I want
gonna be
to bring this
amazing.
up real quick. This topic I wanted to bring up real quick, right?
The cereal bar?
Are we going to the filth or are we?
Not Phil.
Oh, wait a minute. I get the
I don't-
joke. Cereal bar.
Yeah,
The cereal bar. Like a cereal bar.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
see?
It's all right.
It's gonna be all right.
So
Where we going?
to the, I'm not. I saw her response to the filth. I'm not gonna go to the filth. I saved the
We
filth.
can go
Okay.
there.
I might save it to the end.
Something needs healing.
Yeah, it's people. Yeah,
All
real
right.
quick. Serena Williams, right?
Uh-huh.
So Serena's
Hell of a
retiring
career.
from tennis, and people, it's like there's been this big thing on social media and stuff all week with her and people. I guess she wants to have a kid or whatever.
Yeah, I got, from what I read, she was saying that her daughter would say all the time that she wants to be a big sister.
Yeah.
And so she started thinking about the fact that she can't keep doing all these other things and go into being 100% family. Yeah.
So this is my number one issue with the average, not all, not the informed, but the average woman in sports and having an opinion. It's because I don't think a lot of women who are commenting on this understand that in sports, 40 is old as fuck.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Okay?
Let's just say this.
Michael Jordan didn't play the 40. LeBron's probably not going to play the 40.
Let's just say this. In women's tennis, you are at your peak in your early 20s.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of the best women's tennis players were done at their latest early 30s.
Because they like, men don't have to do this. They like, men don't have to do this. Men don't have to retire to have kids. She's 40.
Hold on. Stop. Okay. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I usually don't tell people to stop. I'm sorry.
Good.
But they said that men don't stop when they're. So I guess the men don't have the babies. I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
they don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was like. I'm sorry.
But I don't think that those people understand what she's put her body through. Because you can train so hard, especially as a female, you can train so hard and your cycle will stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, because gymnastics, they had that
My
whole
daughter
thing
plays
going
volleyball,
on.
yeah. It messes up the cycle.
And she's running and jumping and probably lifting weights based on the physique. That's a lot.
It's
just
just
her understanding also that she went through such a traumatic experience with
her
first
child.
pregnancy.
Yeah.
Right.
So she almost died.
Yeah.
So she's mentally preparing herself. And I mean, why if somebody decided they just want to stop just because they want to stop, why does anyone feel as though they have an opinion towards that?
why don't we just celebrate her as opposed to turning it into a political talking point?
She dedicated how many years to it?
Yeah.
They're
like, men would never have to retire. I'm like, she's 40 years old.
She won her first. Didn't she win her first Wimbledon at
was like 19,
17,
18.
It was over 20. It was over 20 years ago when she won.
Yeah.
Somebody can't just say, you know what? I have done it, and I'm ready to spend some time building my family and spending time just being with my family without being questioned. But I think that's a whole nother thing that black women go through.
There's also a lot that she went through, with that pregnancy, with tennis, with them, putting her through drug tests and, saying, well, nobody can recover that fast. So we're going to test you constantly for drugs. And, the whole tennis community was a problem.
I have a question. Do you think people are making these type of comments towards her because she has a Caucasian husband?
Maybe. No, what's happening is they're trying to turn it into like, man, this is messed up because men wouldn't have to retire if they were Serena. And the counter to that is mostly 99% of athletes who are men retire before they're her age.
Before they're her age.
They're trying to make it seem like she's being forced to retire because she got to choose between being an athlete and a mom. And I'm like, no.
And on top of that,
she's just 40, bro. Your legs break down. You've been 40 and took a nap.
It's also what was just said too, the fact that the men aren't the ones having the children.
Yeah.
So of course women have to go sit down for however many months to have a child, to be pregnant, to deliver the child
and recover
after that. Obviously that's something different than one of us if our wife got pregnant or something like that. It's different.
Tristan's.
I do want to say something else too. This is what black women go through. So, just so y'all get a kind of a view, we're always expected to carry the world. We're always expected to go far beyond, be the superwoman, keep going when everybody else stops. We're always the ones expected to do that.
Well, I think in sports, men are in this instance are like, no. Like, women are putting this on her right now. And all the guys are like, no guys retire way earlier than her.
Right.
Don't do this to her. Like, Michael Jordan didn't play this long. Like, don't do this to her. Like, athletes don't play sports at 40. It just rarely happens. Like, rarely happens.
Are they condemning her for, not condemning, but are they having an opinion, like trying to make this male against female.
Yeah,
or
they're
is
trying to make it. They're trying to be like, see, y'all don't
almost
understand.
make it like a. Yeah, I think I understand what
because
you're
guys will
saying.
never have to retire to. I'm like, what?
You're trying to create a gender
Yeah,
war
gender
where
war. Like,
there's
she
not
40.
one. Where there's not
Kobe
one.
didn't play till he was 40. Nobody plays sports at 40 years old. Tom Brady and Robert Parrish is the only people I've ever known to play sports that long.
Some baseball players
wasn't
played
Ricky
until
Yeah,
their
some
40s.
baseball players.
Julio
Yeah.
Franco played till he's like 50
Yeah,
something.
but
or
they be out
whatever.
there just hitting the ball and
Jordan
Cut his face
came back
holding.
in his 40s.
yeah, he came
Right?
back.
Came
yeah.
back, but he
and then
but
he
he
wasn't
took a
Jordan.
break.
Yeah, he wasn't Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I know we kind of running through these. I did want to. I'm kind of glad we don't have the video going out.
So you can't see our facial expressions.
Because some came about. All right.
So this will be the last one.
This will be the last thing. So I apologize to y'all before. I want to apologize again. But
Everybody listening to Throughout the Week, y'all know what we do here.
y'all know what we do here.
My Nana's listening. I'm
Sorry, Nana. Sorry, Nana.
Sorry, Nana.
Welcome to the jungle. This Rose came out last year, and it was a lot of slick talk.
So let's ask an opinion. I'm
What
sorry,
came out?
women. Do y'all,
The Rose,
ladies,
don't you-
toy.
do y'all know
What's
what the
the
rose? So
Rose?
she knows
I'm a little slow.
the rose. So
It's a
familiar.
female toy for pleasure.
And what does it? What pray tell does it do?
Oh, was it that?
It
thing
sucks.
you was
No,
showing?
it sucks on you guys'
Area.
little button, and it
Oh.
flickers. It's like it has a little fake
Oh, it's
tongue
like
on
a
the
rabbit?
inside. No, it
Nah.
sucks on the clitoris
It's
and
kinda
flicks
like
a
that,
tongue
only
on
it's
the
shaped like
inside.
a rose.
it's shaped
But it
like a rose.
Oh, it
suctions
goes like
the
this.
clitoris, and then it like flicks on the
Okay.
inside.
Okay.
And they was like, "Oh, dude,"
And they're sold out everywhere.
Man, y'all got it. They done came up with the okay, all right, okay. They came up with a replacement. Well, somebody came up with, I think, the female replacement. They can't see this, so it's no big deal. And it's
might
called
be
the Gawk 3000.
Shut up.
It comes equipped with spit.
Oh, that's spit.
That's what got me.
It comes equipped
God.
with spit.
All right.
It spins at the speed of light. I guess it has like Supreme. You can change the suction mode.
Okay.
Ladies' game about to be over.
Look.
Well,
Go
listen,
sleep on the
you
couch.
know what?
No
Okay.
problem.
All right.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not buying into it because for many years they have had product after product that was great, and there's nothing like the real deal.
If I have warm, spit like water and a suction mode and twisted, I'm just like, how about we just?
No, it's nothing
I'm
like
about
the
to
real
get
deal.
online and
Look,
find me a Gawk.
I feel like for research purposes. For research purposes.
Research purposes
For research
only.
purposes, I feel like we need to figure out.
if the Gawk works.
I mean, because
It's called a Gawk 3000. That's the name of it.
because why will we be talking
You all
about
are
it?
willing to make that sacrifice.
Yes, for the people.
I feel like
For-
as a man, we should be able to stand on what we talk about, right? Right.
That is so not right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's not
I
right.
mean,
That is not
so I feel
right.
like we should price it.
I'm going to jump out here and be like, it's going to lose
Exactly.
It's going to be cool 1 second and it's going to be
It's
not
like
cool
the
the next.
microwave. The oven is hands down the best. Okay.
best.
But sometimes I just
Microwave-
need to heat
You
my
need
food.
to- But
No.
because, I mean,
Sometimes I just gotta heat up my
Yeah.
meat. Okay.
Sometimes I'm really, really hungry. You know what I'm saying?
you need it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I need to heat my
You
meat up
want
in
it to
30
be
seconds.
really good. If you want it to be really good, you're gonna pop it in the oven. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna pop it in the oven. If you want
Sometimes
it
the oven be like,
tasty.
oh, what the fuck? Yeah. You gonna
So
deal
were you
with that.
asking our
Gawk.
opinion
I got-
on it? Like, what were you going to?
Huh?
What were you asking our opinion on?
No,
flour?
basically I
He was
just
talking about, like you said, men overcorrect.
yeah, we overcorrect.
Overcorrect.
Like a lot of times, like guys tend to overcorrect, and like a lot of stuff that goes on in the world. Men end up overcorrecting. Like we get Barack Obama, they like, fuck it, we gonna get Trump. Like I told y'all, like the world
opposite
tends
extreme.
to overcorrect some shit. Then we get Trump, then we get this statue, and all, like everything is an extreme.
So you're saying the gawk
It's
the
like
gawk
the
is an extreme from
response
the
to the
rose.
rose.
We went from a character
Okay.
to
You know,
Yeah,
first
to
of all, I
that
think
tree
Oh,
is
a
the
shopper.
president.
I think women are probably going to be the ones buying that more than anybody for their man, because some women might be like, okay, leave me alone here. Don't do that yourself.
Don't do that.
But I don't think it's going to either the Rose or the Gawk is going to.
It's very strange to say, doesn't it?
But you know why they call it.
I'm not gonna lie.
But anyway.
Say that 3 times fast.
The people. It's just not. Because it's like what we were talking about earlier before it started. Men like to chase. Mm-hmm. This thing is readily available. I mean,
I'm gonna just roll it in the living room and go chase it.
It might be convenient, but
You stupid.
Gotcha.
You're not a cat. Okay, we can't just roll the toy out and be like,
I'm gonna put it on a little vacuum, a little circle vacuum, and chase it around the house. You was playing hard to get today.
Right.
Booze up there. I saw you after that.
I'm sorry, nothing replaces human connection.
that's
You know what I'm saying?
But
I mean,
we could say that. We could say that, and we know that nothing replaces human connection. But the sex toy business is probably $1 billion business. So we can say that. And the Rose sold the fuck out.
Yeah, you can't find it.
You couldn't find it.
Well, yeah, but it hasn't births of babies hasn't gone down, and
we're not talking about babies though. We talk about 15 minutes around here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's not proven.
Hey, 5 if I've been drinking. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we talking about a few minutes over here. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
It's not proven that people are not still having sex. They're still having sex. Mm-hmm.
Nothing replaces. I think it's gonna eventually end up becoming a knick-knack.
You think so?
Eventually, yeah.
But there are some couples that kind of get into using stuff
That's
together.
what I'm saying. There's so much stuff going on nowadays, and there's so many sites that go up where you can go look at stuff online. So I don't think
we got to report
anywhere.
back. We got to report back
for research purposes.
Oh my God!
You're gonna report your findings.
Y'all gonna get that for real?
I think I'm gonna purchase me a Gawk and just see what it's up to.
Y'all gonna go ahead and collect some data.
It's always been stigma around
collect
males
some
getting
data,
sex toys.
send it to the epidemiologist, and
women can buy up the roses and the rabbits
on your
and not feel bad about
I don't like those because I think it desensitizes the women.
Probably,
yeah.
And you can't get that back. Like once it's gone, it's not enjoyable for a man to go down you after you use a toy. Like it's not.
But he could. We getting too far. He could just use it with. You know what I mean?
He gonna have to.
They're a tag team. They're a tag team like wrestling.
He's gonna have to use it on you from now on because he can't pleasure you like this toy can. So in a sense, women think, oh, it just replaces the guy, but it's not. No.
I think that only people that say that.
I wonder if you have to add water to it to get it to.
It looks like you gotta add dish soap to it too.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Dish soap.
It looks like dish soap.
Like you gotta.
Maybe you have to add water.
Like you about to have a slip and slide and.
All of that sounds amazing.
I think that's okay, so you know how you cook at home, right? And then you be on the road. You're like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get this McDonald's cheeseburger real quick. I feel like that's the equivalent. You know what I'm saying? Like. I'm such a kinesthetic interpersonal person. Like nothing else matters to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go any further than that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I also
In
think
the words of Forrest Gump.
I got you.
The people that say that this is going to replace men or this is going to replace women, they're probably people who have already been disgruntled with relationships anyway, and were probably looking to be alone anyway.
Yeah,
so I don't, there's always going to be that segment of the community that's like, I don't need no man, or what I need her for? What's she bringing to the table? It could be, those.
I got me a Gawk 3000.
I don't need her no more.
Listen.
A Gawk is not about to cook you no meals or help you with your laundry or give you a back rub after a long day. Or rub your scalp after a long day.
I mean, look, she ain't ever lied there, but
I just touched my whole scalp.
Christmas is coming up.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, be that as it may.
Sweetest day is around the corner.
Sweetest day, yeah. October 15th or something.
You're not getting that as a gift. I'm sorry.
I will get you a box of cereal.
Right.
that's right. Cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah.
You good about cinnamon toast
I got
crunch?
you. Oh yes, housewarming gift, Christmas.
Okay.
I got you.
All right.
Yes.
All right,
You say
y'all.
you
Getting the
say
go-go.
lactose?
I'm
I'll
a
get
little-
you some oat milk.
I got to find some good milk, probably.
Have you had oat milk?
No.
It's raw.
Oat milk is delicious.
And then if you don't like the thickness, like because I know you were
That
saying
means
milk,
I'ma
milk
not
is
like
thick.
it.
Oat milk can be a little thick, so maybe coconut milk. It's a little thinner. It's
I'm not a coconut fan.
the milk is
it
different.
don't taste like
The milk don't taste like a coconut.
that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you got to get a good brand too. You know what I'm saying? So experiment.
What about
with, like-
almond milk? Anybody do almond milk around
Okay.
here?
I've had it.
Does it taste?